Hey everyone, it's Mark Ferguson with InvestorMore. I'm back at the liquor store in Mini Mart. I bought a little over 2 years ago. It's crazy I've owned it that long. We're going to have a lot of cool information for you, including some sales charts that show what sales have done, profits have done year over year, and over the last 2 years. So one thing I was really wondering about with this store was if sales would drop off this winter like they did last winter. Last winter we had crazy low sales. Wasn't sure if it's weather, management issues, and we have the charts to show you what's happened so far this winter. Now we're not done, but we'll see what's going on. One weird thing, we got those blinds, nice blinds, and they melted. So there's some pretty hardy sun coming from the south there. This building faces south, and we're in Colorado, so in the winter or summer it can be pretty intense, but yeah, apparently more intense than I thought to melt the blinds through the windows. So here's our store. Like I said, I bought this about 2 years ago. We've worked very hard to add coolers, inventory, suppliers, made the store much, much better. And I say it all the time, but when I first bought the store, I met someone local here. It's in a very small town, and they said the old owner told them, if we don't have it, you don't need it. And so that was not going to be our motto. Our motto was to try and get what people needed, help them out. We are low on milk. That's one thing we need to make sure we've always got plenty of. But the store's been doing very well lately, and I don't have to go there all the time either. So I do own this real estate. It's got 3 apartments upstairs. Those are rented. The building rents, the store rents from the building as well. And when I first bought it, I was obviously there a lot. I was there, we remodeled a little bit, talking to vendors, figuring out what to add as far as coolers and inventory and things like that, where to put stuff, cleaning some, because that was one thing the store was super clean when I bought it, and then deciding if we wanted to add things like pretzels and hot food and this countertop we added, which makes the old countertop look like crap, but hey, that's okay. It's better to have at least one really good looking counter. And then so we've done a lot of different work. We upped our food license so that we could serve hot food. I took my food test and got certified for that. There's a lot of different things that I had to do. We added Frazzle, all kinds of different things over the last couple of years. And lately, I haven't had to do much. Now, I still oversee sales. I look at the charts. I check inventory. I don't go count inventory myself, but on Clover, which is what we use for our POS system. And they do call them POS systems for a reason, but that's another story. This is the liquor side over here. We've decided kind of what liquor to carry, what not to carry, pricing, things like that is what I handle now. But it's really nice because we've had a number of different managers in the past. I come in here and it wasn't very clean. I end up stocking stuff myself, especially in the back cooler. I'm making sure, I really had to stay on top of things to make sure it's done. Now, the manager, Kathy's been doing a great job and is on top of things. So that's made my life a lot easier. It doesn't mean we're making a whole ton of money, but it's made my life much easier as I do have a lot of other things going on with flips, rentals, the laundromats, dealing with government issues, things like that on my properties. But this store has been fun, and I wanted a brick and mortar store for a long time. So one thing too, if people in the comments have new types of alcohol or different things that they've tried and like, let me know, because we're like, one of my buddies really likes oh god, I can't even think, a seltzer. High Noon, that's what it is. I'm like, oh, do we carry High Noon? It's like, no, we don't. Well, maybe we should try that. So we do try and carry different types of IPAs and sours and craft beers too, which a lot of liquor stores like ours don't do. That's been nice. And of course, the staples that we have as well. And yes, we still carry Bud Light because our customers, some of them want Bud Light, so we're going to carry what they want. And this is a lot of this. There's like 10,000 items in the store or something crazy. And a lot of people get completely overwhelmed, like, oh my God, that's crazy. But you have to understand, if you have a good relationship with your vendors, your suppliers, they help out so much with stocking, figuring out what you need, counting items, ordering stuff for you. It's not all on your manager or you to do all of this. The vendors will help a lot. And they also help you decide if you want to try new things or not. But you also have to be careful because they'll want, they obviously want to sell you as much as they can. You've got to make sure that you're not buying too much, having stuff expire, things like that. So there is definitely some management and stuff that goes into it, but it might not be quite as crazy as you think it is. And it's an interesting business, that's for sure. And one thing we've seen too, like I said, sales have been fantastic over the summer, especially this last summer, but we had really bad, really low sales last winter. And we're in Colorado, it gets very cold. We definitely have some seasonality, and if we have a big storm come through, or if it gets really cold like it did a few weeks ago here where it was close to 30 below zero, sales drop a lot at the store. And so I mentioned my laundromats I've got, and I thought, oh, the same thing must happen at the laundromats. If it gets really cold, people just don't go outside. Actually, the opposite happened. They got super busy. People all wanted to do their laundry when it got super cold. So you can't just assume things will happen one way based on experiences in a different industry or different area. So a lot of people always think, oh, you've got too much inventory, that costs too much. We go through this very quickly. So we actually don't keep a whole lot more inventory than what we need. But if we didn't keep this inventory, we would run out of stuff. And that's something we don't want to do. That's one way to really piss off people and make them go somewhere else, is if you don't have what they want. So we always try to make sure we have enough. This is our other back storage room where I've thrown around the idea of adding a small laundromat back here. But if I did do that, it would be a ways out, a while down the road. And I don't think Nikki, who's my project manager for my real estate side and helps with all kinds of other stuff too, would be very keen on that. I don't think my store manager here was very keen on me doing that either. But I do like to throw around ideas, think of things, and then once in a while we act on them and try different stuff. So this is a very small town. There's no laundromat within 20 miles probably. And there's a lot of other small towns and quite a few rural properties around this area that would probably use a laundromat. And you can see there's a concrete floor, which is awesome. But it would take some work, some money to get machines, get plumbing, get electrical, get all that figured out. And then that assumes the town would let me do it without buying more water, which would be extremely expensive. And I don't know if they'd let me do that. So here are the sales charts. This one is the year-over-year sales from 2023 and 2022. So I made this one just to see how, it's actually last year now, did versus the year before. But we'll actually run into 24 here as well, even though it still says 23. We'll just have to use our imagination on the numbers. But you can see this over the summer, we did fantastic. This is a weekly sales, so had, what was it, 23, almost $24,000 a week. Way better than the year before. And this isn't all just inflation either. Some people say, well, of course your sales are higher, inflation's higher. And yes, we did up prices on some stuff. A lot of the prices I upped, though, in 2022, because that's when the brunt of inflation happened, was actually in 2022. And then when I took over the store, we found a lot of pricing was just completely wrong. There were some items being sold for less than they cost us to buy. And so obviously we have to change the price on those. We have to fix those. So a lot of work was spent going through products, researching, looking at stuff, seeing what the prices were, fixing the margins, and making sure that, we're making money. That's the point of having this store. It doesn't make sense to just lose money while you're operating it. And that has been a little bit of a struggle too, just because we have to price things higher than other stores. We're a small store. We don't have the bulk purchasing power of larger stores. We can't price as low as other stores. So we do not have pricing advantages on other stores. The advantage we have is that we're in a small town. We don't have any competition. If people don't want to drive, they can come to our store and buy stuff there. And we do try to have a variety of different things, different alcohol, a wide range of stuff, even some toys and different stuff that other stores might not actually have. So we try and add some different things. And if people ask us for stuff, ask us to carry stuff, if we can get it, we try and get it for them, which helps bring in kind of the small town feel as well, and the loyalty to the store as well, which we've seen. So you can see a lot of talking right there, sorry. You can see this winter has been so much better than last winter. So it got pretty bad there for a while, and we did have a drop here a couple weeks ago. That was the cold spell. That was the crazy cold weather where it dropped down. But otherwise, sales are definitely lower than the summer, but way higher than last winter. And then with the inflation thing, our prices have gone up a little bit, but really not that much to account for the increase in sales we've had. It's definitely been more orders, or more people coming, not just prices increasing. So there's that chart. Now this next chart is a fun one because it shows the actual profit or estimate of profit of what we have. All right, so this chart shows our weekly sales, and this is the February 1st, that's 2022. So this chart goes over 2 years. I guess I should have made that more clear. And then that last chart, the end of it was into 2024 as well, even though I didn't change my dates. I didn't really know how to be that fancy on this chart, so sorry about that. But you can see sales dropped significantly over the winter 2022, picked up, had great sales this summer. Then we did see a little bit of drop in the fall and winter, but not as much as last year. And you can see the weekly gross profit. That's basically our profit on our goods sold. And then we have our weekly net profit, which is after paying rent to myself, which I do take out, utilities, staff, employees, internet, security, insurance, other costs like that we have. So over the summer we did very well. This fall it hasn't been quite as good. We're still making a little bit of money, but we definitely make most of our money in the summer. And the winter is kind of like, well, you break even, you do okay. And so it's kind of a tricky business model like that. You don't have to plan your cash flow, your profits to account for that. And staffing, paying employees is definitely a big cost and something you really have to look at and plan for as well, and try and keep those costs down. So we're working on that too. So overall, the store's been fun. It's still making money. It could always make more, and we're working on that. We're tweaking stuff. We're trying different things. But it's been good to see our sales doing better. And sorry, my voiceover ran over too long, so you get to see this chart again. But it's been good to see sales do better this winter. And like I said, it's taken less work from me, less of my effort. So that is nice as well. But you do have to consider too, with this profit, it's not including my bookkeeper. We have to send out a bunch of tax stuff, do some accounting work there. If we have machines break, things like that, we're not taking that out of this money. So a lot of this profit has gone back into the store by adding inventory, making it better. And so that's something that we have to consider too, in that it's not, putting a whole lot of cash in my pocket at the moment, but we're building it better, making it nicer. At some point, it may be a pretty decent, actually more passive investment than I have on a lot of my rental properties, because we have a lot of crazy stories on those and things going on. All right, that's the property. Love to hear what you think. It's been fun. It's interesting and challenging, of course. And I may or may not buy another one like it. It'd be hard to duplicate one, though, like this in a small town without competition. That's for sure. And I'm not looking to kind of delve into something like just a plain liquor store in a big town or anything like that anytime soon. All right, we'll be back soon. We'll have many more videos on our flips, rentals, some of the tenant issues we're dealing with, the laundromats, all that coming up soon.